Let's play Kerbal Space Program. This is a game that many of you probably never heard of. It's this realistic space simulator, but you're on, I think you're on Kerbin? You're flying Kerbals, which are sort of like if a guinea pig and a man had a baby, be like a Kerbal. So I'm going to resume my save, Captain Cruz here. And the first thing you want to do after making a new profile is go into your vehicle assembly building. This is where you make everything. Let me just go out here, and this is your spaceplane hangar. I've never actually used this, but as far as I know, this is used for stuff like satellites and rovers. This is where you're going to build your spacecraft. This keeps track of all your stuff, and this is your actual launch pad. Usually you'll just go to here and that's about it. Let's go here. Well, let's make our first spaceplane. You can use any of these. It's usually best to start with the manned ones. I like this one because I like the way it looks. So, this awesome looking cockpit. Now, you can either go about this having an all liquid rocket, or what I do is I use usually about 2 liquid stages and for starters, the solid rocket stage. So first we're going to need, I like to plan mine 1 solid rocket stage to get me up to maybe 10,000 meters. The second rocket stage to get me into space. Third one, keep me in space. So, as you start from the up to bottom, first what you need is you need to go over to control. Sorry for fraps being in the way. You should still be able to work. And you need to put an SAS module on. I like to not actually put that on first. If you use this detacher, the TR18A stacked decoupler, want to put that. When you hit spacebar, see this is the first stage. When you hit spacebar, this tool highlighted in green will activate, and in this case it blows up, detaching anything to the bottom of it. Now we need an engine. This is going to be the engine when we're in space. So usually you want to use either this one, the Poodle, or the LV909. And how much gas you take is kind of dependent on you. I'm going to use... No, I need more gas than that. Okay, that's just ridiculous. I like that. I'm going to use this. That seems to fit good. And I like to use the Poodle. Seems to have more power, even though it does look extremely awkward. I'm going to use the 909 this time. So this will be our kind of final stage. Now the second stage will be for when we're still in atmosphere. So I'm going to put a little more powerful engine on that. To put some more gas. Gonna put some more gas on here. Since this is another stage, we want this to detach. We need to put a stacked decoupler. And I guess I'll use the same fuel tank. And I'll use a little more powerful engine, the T30. So this is kind of our base rocket. This will get us up, it'll take us off. No, actually it won't take us off. But this is what we're going to use for most of the time. Now we are going to put some control surfaces. As you can tell, this is a pretty sure rocket, so we're going to need some way to steer it better. Usually, what I do is, when this is a dot, this puts it on one side. I like to put about 4, and I use these small control surfaces. Put these right there on the final stage, and that's it for now. So now I need to put solid rockets on there. Solid rockets. Am I just going to put 1 right there? No, that's just ridiculous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them around the side. A little trick that my friend showed me. You can do this with decouplers, either the TT38K, hydraulic detachment, or the TT70. I like to use these. I'm going to put, what, 4? 4 rockets on there? It's a good one. So, if you go back to propulsion and you go to the second page, you'll find solid fuel rockets. Really the best one is the Rockomax BACC. Just consistently is found to be, in my opinion, the best. And then this is the problem. You have to put it on these, and you have to make sure it shows up all the up. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put this to the side here. Take note of what a friend said and move the decoupler up. It's actually been worse for me than usual. Come on. This is embarrassingly bad. No? You kinda gotta, this is a very buggy feature. Probably the worst. I mean, even this game is a you know, 0.2 version. It's an extremely beta. This is really the only bug I've ever found. / terrible design decision. Got it. And you know, this looks a little flat, right? Gotta put some nose cones. So if you go back under aerodynamic, you can get nose cones. I'm going to use this one. That's a good fit, and it looks good. Now, I want to put little fins on there just to help stabilize it, because I like fins. Know which fins would work well. Not those. Manufacturer found laying by the side of the road. You know what? I've never used these before. Trying them out. And, I like to keep it always raised above the, well, whoopsie. I like to always keep it raised above the ground, so if you go to structural and use these launch stability enhancers, you can put these on there so it'll start raised, and it seems to help the takeoff. And, so, okay, it's going to deploy these. Okay, so when you hit spacebar, it's going to deploy these. Okay, I don't want it to do that. So I've instructed it to, well, when I hit spacebar, detach these, and then start these. Next stage is when I hit this, it destroys those two, and I want it to activate the next rocket. Then I want to detach this rocket and activate the final rocket. So I'm going to switch those around. And, well, now my guy needs a way to get back down. He's not just going to fall through space and die. He's going to actually need a parachute. And if you notice, some things, if you don't use this model, a lot of them will have a flat nose cone to where you can put a parachute. You go under utility for parachutes, such as the Mark 25, but this one doesn't have. This one's, you know, built-in nose cone. So I have to use radial mounts. I think 2 parachutes is more than enough. Stick it on the side here, and yeah, it's going to detach the final part, and when it attaches that, it's going to deploy. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to save mine as tutorial training. What did I just hit? Oh jeez. Whoop, made a little whoopsie there. Stupid Windows button. Tutorial training. Ah, good enough. So now I'm going to actually launch it. Go to launch. Ferg is already on the launch pad. Yeah, my other video rocket. Clear the launch pad and proceed. It's going to take a second, especially because I'm broadcasting. Eats up my resources. And when it starts out, you're going to have to wait a second for the guy to appear in this corner, and then the camera will move downward, and the physics simulation will actually start. So the first step for me, since I have solid rockets, is just to go. But since I put the SAS, if you hit T, SAS is sort of like an autopilot. It keeps you pretty much directly where you point. If you ever want to move, you hit T to turn SAS off. You move using the W, A, S, and D keys, and you turn it back on. So 3, 2, 1. Hey, she's working pretty good. Oh, I forgot to turn autopilot on. She slightly killed her. Fix this. Okay. You're really going to be wanting to use this for most of your navigation. The W and A keys backwards on this, just to warn you. Okay, we're about halfway through. If these things start to overheat, by the way, these solid fuel rockets, you're completely and utterly screwed, because they will blow up. And I'll also increase your throttle using the shift key to increase, the control key to go down. Increase it to 100%, because you're going to have to need that for the liquid stage. Almost out of gas. Out. So we started the liquid. Hopefully this engine will work good enough. And now we're about 12,000. So I'm actually going to angle to the right. I'm going to angle about that much. Maybe for starters. Maybe a little more since my autopilot kicked in. You're going to kind of want to go stable before you activate autopilot. You don't want to get too much killed because, especially if you have a not very powerful engine like I do, you'll start falling down. I'm going to go a little bit back up. This is actually going pretty good. And that's not very efficient, as you can tell. But it's going pretty good. Now if you hit M, you can go out to your map, or you can use these down here. And if you, what you want to do is, you want to kind of, when you get somewhat more out of the atmosphere, you want to cut your engines and use this up here to fast travel. And right before you're going to hit this point called the apopsis? Oh, apoapsis? Oh, out of staging, so activate the next stage, the apoapsis. When you're about to hit the apoapsis, I'm far enough out of the atmosphere, I should be able to be good. I usually wait until a little above 60. And you're going to want to coast about right here, then angle a little more horizontal and fire it back up. So about 65, seems good. Cut the engines. Make sure my vertical speed doesn't go down by too much. Go a little faster warp. Oh jeez, falling back down. Okay, might not recover from this. Good point. I went past the apoapsis, which is actually my problem. I should have watched this, but instead I was stupid and I didn't watch it. So, really, if I was a good person, I would have stopped about right there, the warp, and fired my engines, and I would have eventually at least partially paved the way into orbit. Since I'm not falling, I'm just gonna go complete retard. Since Furfurt Kerman wants to get back to the ground alive, I don't want to eject him like I did in my last video. I want him to actually be alive. He needs to go, you know, make money to feed his kids corn. So as we, you know what, I'm just gonna cut the engine and warp down. Ship is not, oh yeah, it is throttled up. If you can hit C for a view inside this. So imagine this guy's view. Engine's cut. You're falling. You're spinning toward the Earth. Oh, jeez. Dark side of the Earth now. Okay, detect that stage, and I got my parachutes. Since I'm in warp, you can pretty much just go crazy and just get some intense G-forces just to rack up. Just for fun. Oh! Waited too long, died. What was the most G-forces endured? 7.6 G. That's survivable if you have a G-suit. I think that'll kill you if you don't, though. Alright, this is the end of this video.